Hey, we're here to introduce Carrie Hike. Let me find your bio. She is a mother of 4, birth worker, postpartum doula, community builder, and co-owner of the Mothership. Carrie Hike has a huge heart for people, relationships, and community. She is thrilled to spend her days nurturing women, families, and children, and is passionate about birth, postpartum healing, and self-care and motherhood. She feels deeply called to be supporting women during this powerful and transformational time. Aside from spending time with her awesome and wild children, her sacred work with new families, and the juggling act of being a mother and a business owner, she loves being immersed in nature, spending time with her tribe, enjoying live music, crafting, reading about anything and everything, cooking yummy vegan food, and enjoying this beautiful life.
Yay.
Yeah. Oh, Carrie, thank you so much for your time. I know life is really full and hectic.
Very full.
Yes. But I chose you to talk about grace because to me, you embody grace and your fullness of life, being a mother and a business owner and being on call for births. Anytime I've been in your presence, there's just this graceful presence that exudes from you. So I would love to hear what grace means to you.
Well, to me, if I were to put it in the simplest form, grace means living from love and from the truth in us. And in those times when my personality is not aligned with spirit or that place, I feel like grace is kind of the shift in perception that nudges me kind of back into that place.
And so share how grace empowers your life and the service that you offer others.
Well, my work is how we put out into the world what's in our hearts, right? Like that's what we do. And the literal definition of doula is woman who serves. So I feel like that's behind all of my work. My whole job consists of supporting and holding space for women during, it's an incredibly transformational time and one of the most important rites of passage of life, really. And I consider it a great honor. And it's very heart-centered work. And we all want to wake up in the morning and feel like we're doing something that matters and makes a difference, right? And I consider myself very fortunate that my work is so in alignment with what's in my heart. And even though it is, it does take an immense amount of energy and time, and the hours are crazy, if it really does fulfill me on a very deep level.
Oh. Do you have a story to share for a time that grace got you through a challenging time?
Yeah. There are so many times I can look back in my life or the trajectory of my life and kind of see places where grace kind of nudged me back into or fixed my course, so to speak. But I think one of the most profound times was fairly recently when I allowed myself grace. I find it much easier to be gentle with other people, which I think is common, than I do towards myself sometimes. And I was holding a lot of guilt about a situation when I behaved in a way that, wasn't righteous. And I didn't feel like I deserved to forgive myself. I guess intellectually, I knew I should forgive myself. And there was a lot of support from everyone for me forgiving myself. So and intellectually I got it, but emotionally I wasn't with the program. But when I allowed myself the same grace and tenderness that is, that, I find easy to extend to other people. When I allowed it for myself, I feel like I experienced a huge shift. And I think, grace was very much in that moment.
Thank you. Yeah, giving it to ourselves first, and then there's more to give to others.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for a mom or anyone who needs to bring in and cultivate more grace? How they could do that?
Yeah, something I feel very passionate about is that mothers take time for self-care.
Mm.
On any given day, the amount of love that mothers actively do is so immense. Even besides all the physical, nurturing and cooking and driving, um, in our minds, it's always going. Like, I'm always thinking about who needs what and who needs to be brought where and what are we having for dinner, and are all of their needs being met on every level. Like, that's always in my head. I'm always, cataloging and processing the needs of my kids. And maybe that changes when they get older. I don't know. I'm not there yet. And right now it's still constant. Um, so, I have 4 kids, and I don't always have it together, and I drop balls all the time, and I completely lose my shit or run out of patience. And, all moms do that at times. And I think the guilt that can accompany that can be huge. And I think practicing self-love and self-care throughout that, and allowing grace for yourself, and also for your children and for other mothers, is just really, how we get through it all.
Yeah, absolutely. So if someone wanted to find out more about you and the offerings at Mothership, where can they go?
We are located on Haywood Road, and you can find our website at www.ashevilleMothership.com.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Carrie.
Absolutely, Crystal.